Hello everyone, this is River. We're going through another origin story with some of the characters in Dragon Age Origins, and this time we're going through the City Elf. So, if you've watched my other series, the full playthrough of the game, in the beginning of that, I mentioned that the City Elf touches on some heavy subject matter, so this is your warning if you are not comfortable hearing about or watching any content that relates to assault, adult versions of assault, then please just do not watch the video. This is your last chance. Okay. And with that, we're going to proceed. I'm just finishing up the character that I've created. I'm playing as a warrior this time around, and we're not going to bother with any kind of persuasion or any of that stuff. We're just going to go all in with our main stats. And the reason I'm getting dexterity there is because I just like the dual wielding a little bit more. So we'll do that. And this is what I mean by the dual wielding, which is actually a good thing because I didn't realize that I'd actually start with the dual wielding already. That's convenient, and as you might notice, the archery is still here, just like with the rogues. So I'm going with the passive abilities just to get the boosts that it gives for your offhand weapon damage. And I don't need any of this other stuff for now. Now, when we go through this, I'm not going to actually continue playing after I finish the origin story. We're just doing this to explain a bit about the City Elf and how it affects the story moving forward.
And capital of Ferelden. Long ago, the elves lived as slaves to humans, and though they've been free for many generations now, they are far from equals. Here they live in a walled-off community known as the Alienage, working as servants and laborers when they can. Despite these hardships, Denerim's elves are a strong people who take pride in their close community. This is the only world you've ever known. Until now.
Wake up, cousin. Why are you still in bed? It's your big day.
Yeah, so we're living in an alienage, which is basically the same thing as a ghetto. Yeah, it's not a very pleasant place to live. Ugh, just a little longer.
Come on, don't make me use cold water again. You do remember what today is, don't you?
Summer day?
No, you idiot. You're getting married today, and Soris too.
Uh-oh.
That's what I came to tell you. Your groom, Nelaros. He's here early.
I don't like the idea of this arranged match business.
And who else are you going to marry? Besides, I already snuck a peek. He's handsome. There's going to be music, decorations, feasting. Weddings are so much fun. You're so lucky.
Maybe you should be the one getting married.
All in good time, cousin. This is your day, not mine. All right, I'll stop tormenting you. I should go talk to the other bridesmaids and find my dress. Oh, Soris said that he'll be waiting for you outside, so move it.
Okay, so it might be a little confusing there, but Soris is not actually the person our character is marrying. Soris is a relative of ours, and he's getting married on the same day as us, so we're having like 2 weddings
All right.
basically at the same time.
Ah, my little girl. It's the last day I'll be able to call you that. Oh, I wish your mother could have been here.
Me too, Father. Well, what should I be doing?
All right, time for you to go find Soris. The sooner this wedding starts, the less chance you two have to escape.
I want to see my betrothed, at least.
You will soon enough. Oh, one last thing before you go, my dear. Your martial training, the swordplay, knives, and whatever else your mother trains you in, best not to mention it to your betrothed.
I take it you didn't say anything.
Well, it's not exactly something that would have made it easy to find a match for you. We don't want to seem like troublemakers after all. Adaya made that mistake.
So it's been touched upon a little bit here. We're getting to see a bit of what the culture is like in this alienage. Now, the reason I'm saying this alienage is because, as we find out in future versions of the game, not all alienages have the same culture surrounding the elves who lived there. It's also worthy of keeping in mind that we are in Ferelden at the moment, so there are many other countries. Another alienage that we'll get to see in Dragon Age 2, as an example, is actually in the Free Marches, which is a completely different country. It's to the north of Ferelden, and there's a bit of a sea in between the two. So yeah, they're both 2 completely different countries with their own unique cultures, and this alienage, the one in Denerim City in Ferelden, has this particular culture. So part of the culture we're observing so far is that they have arranged marriages, and at least I think a part of the reason they do this is because if you don't have like the arranged marriages with like other cities, then the population becomes stagnant, and it can lead to inbreeding and that sort of thing. So whereas if you have the elves transferring from city to city and moving alienage to alienage, then it helps to ensure that there's more DNA in the population to work with, right? Just keeps things healthier, or more healthy rather. And as for the whole fighting situation, it shows a little bit of the prejudice that some of the people have, including the elves in this case, towards women who fight. So like even in the real world, there have been a lot of sentiments like this in the past, and somewhat to a lesser extent, depending on who you're talking to and where, in modern times. So, alright, so this line here, the humans killed her, made a bigger one, that suggests that our mother was actually killed by humans. And that also hints at the relationship that the elves have with humans. So the elves and the humans have a very racialized and negative relationship in most cases, particularly the humans towards the elves. It's a lot like the racial segregation stuff that was happening in the United States and in other places in the 18th century, 19th century, etc. Okay. The humans who killed her made a bigger one.
Our world is full of so many injustices. Take this. Your mother would have wanted you to have it. It's the very least I can give you as you start your new life. Go on then. I still have some things to do, and Saurus is no doubt waiting for you.
Okay, so we can just quickly check to see what he gave us, and this is what he gave us, some boots. So we're gonna equip those, and we can put on our wedding clothes to see what those look like. They're just like a fancy version of the regular garments. So we're gonna put on the wedding dress, and we're gonna use that. Okay, now since I used that book, I can add another skill in here. We don't need another expert, another combat training thing, so we're gonna put on stealing, just because it's fun. Okay, we're gonna be nice and not steal from father. I heard a cat. Oh, right there. So we have a stray cat wandering around. If we check the map, this is the entire alienage here. There's two entrances to the alienage, bridge over on this side, and there is kind of another bridge on the other side, but it's more walled off and heavily guarded. This particular wall leads into the Denerim marketplace, so the central hub of Denerim. And Denerim, for those of you who didn't know, is the major city of Ferelden. It's the capital city. It's where the palace is and where the king and queen reside. Currently, King Kaelin sits on the throne. So we're going to go talk to these people.
Woman, she lived in the sea. I didn't love her, but I think she loved me. I brought her diamonds, rubies, silver, and gold. But all she wanted was to be saved from the cold.
Alright, so I feel no guilt stealing from these guys.
Me I should. I promised her a house, all gray stone and wood. We made love in the sea. We made love on the shore. I was just there for playing, but she wanted more. But there's one small problem, you see, I can't grant her wish. My wife gets suspicious when I
Let's interrupt these guys.
Whoa, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
Just doing the rounds, collecting wedding presents.
We thought that,
We thought cash would be better. Spend's easier.
Right. Yeah, we gathered up, 30 bits.
That guy in the back.
Wedding present for anyone.
That it is. Much better than a present, yes?
Well, 40 bits is a bit more traditional.
Oh, you're right. Don't mind us. We're a bit tipsy. Here's 10 bits to top it off.
Now you go celebrate your big day and we'll do the same. Big day. Lots of celebrating.
Awesome. So we robbed them and convinced them to give us a wedding present as well. Brilliant. Let's move along. So we actually do come back to this place later in the game. When we do come back here, it will look drastically different. And we actually come back here on two separate occasions, but both of them will be towards the end of the game. So they're very relatively close to each other.
Whenever I look, I just see the mother.
The mother was far more delicate.
So
It's the same sort of nose, you must admit that. The breeding shows.
Oh, there you go again with breeding. We're not horses, you know.
Of course not, but bloodlines are important, that's all I'm saying.
I think the whole notion is ridiculous.
Well, you've got the freedom to think so. You come from good stock.
So they're actually talking about arranged marriages, and in particular they're talking about us and our mother. So, we're going to talk with them.
Well, it's the lucky bride herself. Hello, dear.
Oh, now, love, she probably doesn't remember us.
Oh, of course. I'm Dilwen, and this is Gethon. We were friends of your mother's. We haven't seen much of you since... well...
What can you tell me about my mother?
Your father still doesn't speak of her, does he?
Adiah was beautiful, and full of life, and a bit wild.
She wanted you more than anything. It's sad she never got to see you all grown up.
We just wanted to see you today and express our good wishes.
I'm not getting married.
Huh! Truly your mother's child. Well, we'll see if you feel the same tomorrow. Be well.
So, we might be able to go in that house later. I might be confusing it with a different house, though. So this tree is like a heritage item for the elves here, who live here.
You should thank the maker
that rope
for your
or we'll
good
lose the whole load.
And let's talk with these people.
Many blessings, young one. We hope to stay for the celebration, but we must be off.
You're not staying for my wedding?
I wish we could.
The human who owns our building has decided to sell it for storage space. We can't afford to live anywhere else here, so we're leaving Denerim.
Where are you going?
The Ostagar ruins. The army camp there is calling for laborers.
We wanted to look for work in High Ever.
But that's just not possible.
Why not?
Moving to a different alienage isn't easy. Travel and bribes cost money. Humans are a suspicious lot. I've heard the ones in High Ever are worse than here.
We'll find out a bit more about that very soon. But as we'll soon discover, the humans who live here are not exactly great. Is there anything I can do to help?
You're still a child. You can't do anything. Enjoy your special day and put us out of your mind.
What my husband means is, you're very generous, but we don't need charity to solve our problems.
I understand. Good luck to you.
Many thanks. Again, blessings on your day.
Wait! Can I talk to you a moment?
Of course.
I apologize for my parents. They're too proud to accept help, much less ask for it. My parents will labor in the army camp, and they'll expect me to do the same, but I
Puppy.
don't like the idea of being surrounded by human soldiers who haven't seen a woman in months.
So I just want to relish this moment, that puppy in the background. In this particular alienage, and in this game specifically, it's one of the only occasions that we actually get to see dogs that are not Mabari, which is delightful. But regardless, that's merely because our characters in all of the games tend to get involved in a lot of fighting, and the Mabari happens to be a dog specifically bred for fighting. Yeah, it also happens to be a more intelligent breed, so yeah. Would some money help?
Of course, but I can't imagine anyone here has much to spare. We'd need another 3 silvers to make it to High Ever. And if we got another 10 silvers, we could rent a house here. Maybe one large enough to start a business. But that's just dream talk. Nobody has that much money, and if they did, why would they give it to us?
Someone must be willing to help.
I don't have much hope.
So we don't have the money right now, but we can potentially go sell some stuff and make the money, or we can try and convince them to stay here. But we know what it's like here. However, they also did say that the humans in Highever might actually be worse, so it might actually be better that they stay, even though it's not great here. Particularly since we know that Ostagar is going to be full of war, and that might not necessarily help them if they're going to be going to a place that's full of combat. Maybe you should stay here.
I would, but my father would have to believe I have a future here.
Let me talk to him.
Really? All right, if you think that will help.
Hello again. Isn't your wedding soon?
It is. I wanted to talk to you about your daughter.
My daughter?
Yes, I think I have a way that she can stay here.
I don't take advice from children, nor do I plan to split up my family. Now excuse me.
You're just going to let her become a camp follower?
You speak out of place, young one. My family's business is none of yours.
Oh, I messed that up. Oh well. So if we would have said one of the other options, there's a couple of possibilities.
What are you doing here? You should be getting ready for your wedding.
We could have went and talked to our father about potentially having that girl stay at our place. That was a possibility. We also could have come here to sell some stuff and just given money to them, and that would have either helped them to move to Highever or convinced them that they could stay here and find like a new place, depending on how much money you give. You could make the money just by stealing stuff from people. So if you have like the stealing ability like I got, and you run around and just steal from like every character that you possibly can, you can potentially get enough copper to make 10 silvers before you have to actually leave the area and do anything. Hey, let me enjoy my last moments of freedom.
What are you wasting those moments in here for? Shoo.
Nope.
Still here? Shoo. Go get married.
This building in particular, later in the game, will actually open up. And the reason it opens up is because a group of Tevinter mages, Tevinter is another country, for those of you who don't know. Yeah, a group of Tevinter mages come here to solve, quote-unquote, a plague that has arisen in the alienage. And conveniently, the plague is isolated just to the alienage, which is rather suspicious. You'll see a lot more of that when we're going through our main playthrough in the with Elia.
Well, if it isn't my lucky cousin. Care to celebrate the end of our independence together?
So this is the other chap who's getting married today. He is not our husband. He's just another person getting married. We haven't met the husband yet. Getting cold feet, Soros.
Are you surprised? Apparently your groom's a dream come true. My bride sounds like a dying mouse.
Excellent. My groom is attractive?
I'd trade for him. Let's go introduce you to your dreamy betrothed before you say I do.
See, that sounds promising. So he's joined our party now, and we're gonna go talk with these two.
So I see you got yourself a big handsome hulk of a husband. Excuse me if I don't congratulate you.
Well, someone's grumpy. Is something wrong?
Don't act like you care. Your father has the money to get you a great match. Meanwhile, what did I get? A fat old man who smells like the docks and wouldn't know what to do with a woman even if he was sober.
Talking like that right in front of what is presumably her son? And what does that have to do with me?
You think you're better than me? Well, you're not. I may have got a poor match, but at least I have some dignity. Wench.
Yeah, so she's not very nice.
Hey, you're gonna be late for your own wedding.
I'm not getting married.
You are too. I saw the flowers and the pretty clothes and everything.
Considering
The
we're
bride's
wearing
supposed
them.
to be pretty and caring. And definitely not late. Only humans don't care about being respectful.
Watch where you say that.
Father said it this morning when my brothers didn't want to get out of bed. He said they were acting like lazy humans.
See, and the reason we're saying watch where you say that is because if he is not careful and he says that within earshot of a human, that could potentially spell a lot of trouble, not only for him, but for anyone associated with him. It's dangerous to say such things.
Well, there aren't any humans here, so I'll say what I want.
For now. As we'll find out very shortly. The humans don't not come here at certain times. They do in fact come into the alien edge. Let's talk with this guy.
There's the man of the hour. How are you, Soros?
I'm well. This is my cousin, the bride. The other bride, not my bride.
We've met on occasion. Blessings on the day, both of you.
Poor Soros isn't feeling very blessed.
True enough. Still better to be married and have a real life than to remain a child.
There's something you should know, Soros. My brothers won't be coming. They left to find the Dalish, you see.
The Dalish elves? Really?
They're elves who supposedly live free wandering the forests. I don't think they really exist, though.
Well, my brothers certainly believe they do. Even Alarith swears that Dalish elves saved him on his way to Denerim. Nonsense.
So, the relationship in this particular alien edge is that none of us have seen any Dalish elves. We have no interaction with them. As we'll find out in Dragon Age 2, that's not always the case, because the Dalish elves not only interact with elves from the alienage in the nearby city, but they even occasionally go there to live and interact more personally with those elves. So the elves share more of a widespread culture there, as opposed to here, where it's two very distinct cultures. Also, we have to keep in mind that each Dalish clan has their own culture. So, Alarith, the shopkeeper, so that's the guy we actually met, but we're gonna go with that.
Indeed. He told my brothers that when he was fleeing his homeland, he found the Dalish, or they found him. I don't really remember.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. They were probably just taken in by another old story. Theodore, it was great seeing you. I'm sure your brothers will show up in a few days, embarrassed and hungry.
I hope so. I should go. Best wishes to you both.
So, we can see the humans in the background there. and we can still see them. They're just further off than in that close-up shot. So they weren't there when we were passing by earlier. We're going to check out the shop again, see if we can talk to Alarith about his Dalish adventures.
Still here? Shoo, go get married.
No, he's not willing to talk. He'll be more receptible to talking later, potentially, but not necessarily. Okay.
Let go of me! Stop, please!
It's a party, isn't it? Grab a whore and have a good time. Savor the hunt, boys.
Disgusting.
Take this little elven wench here. So young and vulnerable.
Touch me and I'll gut you, you pig!
Please, my lord. We're celebrating weddings here.
Silence, worm!
I know what you're thinking, but maybe we shouldn't get involved.
Nope, we're definitely getting involved. Objection noted. Now get out of my way.
Fine, but let's try to be diplomatic, shall we?
What's this? Another lovely one come to keep me company.
Human scum, you'll regret what you've done here.
Ha! Do you have any idea who I am?
Are you insane? This is Varn Orien, the Earl of Denerim's son.
What? Oh, Maker.
So the Arl is basically an important person. The Arl is kind of like a mayor in the real world. Yeah, so he's high up in the political sphere. And considering we live in the alienage, we're considered like subhuman, essentially. So not great standing. And yeah, the humans will not appreciate us laying a hand on him, let alone knocking him unconscious. Maybe his father should have taught him better manners.
You've a lot of nerve, knife ears. This'll go badly for you.
Oh, I really messed up this time.
It'll be all right. He won't tell anyone an elven woman took him down.
I hope so. I should get cleaned up.
Is everybody else all right?
I think we're just shaken. What was that about?
Looks like the Jarl's son started drinking too early. Well, let's not let this ruin the day. This is Valora, my betrothed.
Excellent. We can assume that this is our husband, future husband. And who's the fellow with her? Not mine, I hope.
By the Maker! I can't believe you sometimes. Yes, this is Nelaros, your betrothed.
Do I really make such a poor first impression?
Well, not entirely. He just didn't say anything. I'm just not much interested in all this.
Are you saying you don't want to marry me?
I just don't want to get married at all.
I see. Well, I hope in time you can learn to...
Come on, cousin. We should let them get ready.
We'll see you two in a bit. Don't disappear on us.
It'll be fine. You'll see.
Don't look now, but we have another problem.
Well, anything to put this wedding off for a while.
Another human just walked in. Could be one of Vaughn's or just a random troublemaker. Either
Duncan.
way, we need to move him along before someone does something stupid.
So I mentioned it in the previous origin story with the humans. Duncan will appear in whichever origin story that you start in, and he's basically the reason that you live through your origin story. So let's just kill him.
You really scare me sometimes. You know that?
Fine, let's just scare him then.
Let's do this quickly.
Okay, so I don't want to make the videos too long in this series, so I'm going to actually stop it here and we'll go talk to Duncan next time. And we should be able to finish the rest of the City Elf origin in that episode. So until next time, quick reminder, you can go ahead and subscribe if you enjoy the videos. Give the videos a like, and take care.